Real Animals Fishing Show is presented by Mosaic, helping the world grow the food it needs. And by Yellowfin Yachts. Hey gang, today I'm fishing out of beautiful Bradenton, Florida. We have an absolutely gorgeous fall day. My good friend Captain Rick Gross is taking me fishing. Whatever you do, don't touch that dial. It's gonna be off the hook. Captain Rick and I made about a 5-mile run from the boat ramp this morning. Rick went out real early, loaded us up with some fresh pilchards, and we made about a 5-mile run here. We snuck into a little bay here not far from Sarasota Bay, and we got really low water this morning, still going out actually. We kind of had to wiggle our way in around some big bars here. We're fishing a deeper pocket here. We got a lot of mullet, a lot of bait fish on this flat. I noticed there's a lot of shell in the bottom, which means there's a good chance we'll catch some redfish. Rick's been doing a great job this fall, catching a lot of snook, a lot of redfish, some nice trout in these potholes on these lower tides. Fish on. Little trout. He wrapped himself up a little funny. Little trout. There's a pretty opener, huh? This time of year, a lot of trout pouring in on the flats. Water's cooling, baits everywhere. You want to make sure you have your D-hooker on you. Do these things kind of right. Look at that color on that fish though, huh? Definitely one of our prettier inshore species. Hey, it's 1-0.
Oh no! Another trout.
Another trout?
Another trout. Little guy.
D-hooker's right behind you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, 1-1. 1-1.
Speckled trout. Pretty fish.
Uh-oh, 2-1.
Another trout.
Oh, nice trout.
Got another speckled trout.
Oh boy. 2-1. Not that we're keeping track. We are.
Pretty fish.
All we're using here this morning, I've got our Smoke 40 by Quantum. I've got a medium heavy fast action NV rod by 13 Fishing. We're using 15-pound braid, 25-pound fluorocarbon leader, and I've got a Gamakatsu Nautilus Light circle hook. I like the circle hooks, especially when, you know, we're not sure exactly what we're gonna be fishing for as far as direct species, snook, redfish, trout. Bite gets going crazy. Sometimes they inhale them. 98% of the time, this ends up right in the corner of the mouth. It's a great hook to get used to fishing. Guys that have been fishing for a long time use J hooks. It's hard to transition sometimes because with a J hook you kind of got to set the hook. With a circle hook, all you got to do is when you feel that bite, keep your rod tip down, reel. As soon as you feel the fish pulling back, lift up, gets them right in the corner of the mouth every time. But just typical inshore tackle here for what we do in Florida every day.
This area of the water's been pretty clear as far as not a lot of floating grass.
Well, and don't we get a lot of that grass, that floating grass this time of year as the fronts start to come in.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the wind starts to turn up the bottom a little bit.
Uh-oh.
That was just big pinfish, I think. No.
Little trout.
Really small
Little
trout, huh? Little trout.
Future Mogan.
So cute, yeah. Future big fish, right, exactly. Future big fish for sure. Little bitty trout. Hey, you know what? I don't complain. Small snook, small redfish, small trout. That's the future of a healthy estuary right there. We'll take them. And it counts. Now it's what? 2 apiece? 3, 2. You got 3 or 2?
2.
2? All right, 2, 2.
I got 2.
I'm not really competitive, Rick.
It doesn't sound like it. Wow.
The Real Animals Fishing Show, Tip of the Week, is brought to you by Mosaic. Hey gang, Captain Mike Anderson here with the Real Animals Fishing Team. This week's Tip of the Week, I want to talk to you about polarized sunglasses. Polarized sunglasses are one of the most important things you can buy to spend time on the water either as a boater or as a fisherman. Polarized sunglasses cut the glare on the water, make it easier for you to see things like manatees, debris floating in the water, logs, chairs, whatever it might be. Also makes it easier for us to see the fish and the bait. The other thing is they protect you from the sun's ultraviolet rays. And your eyes are one of the body parts that won't recover well. Once we do damage to them, they don't recover. So it's really important that we protect our eyes. So spend a little time, a little money, get yourself a good pair of polarized sunglasses. I'm Captain Mike Anderson, and that's your Tip of the Week. Real Animals Tip of the Week, brought to you by Mosaic. We got the wind at our back, and we're just bouncing these potholes. This particular flat's got a bunch of ridges on it and bars, and we're just setting the power pole up on the ridge and being able to fish each one of these little depressions. Just got the wind at our back, power pole down, and just going from pothole to pothole. There's a fish.
Are the same?
I can't tell. It feels a little different, but it's swimming at me. Big trout. Wow, look at that.
Better trout.
Big, nice,
yeah.
Pretty trout.
Yeah.
Atta boy, look at that pig. Woo! I knew it didn't. I'm like, that don't feel like the ones we were catching, I can tell you that. There's a reason this one has shoulders.
Little more better?
Ah, that's a beautiful fish. Wow, look at that. Look at that, huh? Yeah, that's a pretty trout right there. Yeah, I know. That's a really, really, really pretty fish right there. Oh, it came off, perfect, okay. I was gonna pick it up by the belly and let you look at it, but perfect, nice fish, probably 18, 19, 20
18,
inches.
19. Good fish.
3 to 2.
Hello. You're not staying up too long. Speckled trout.
Good to see the trout pouring in here.
Yeah, all these fronts and the temperature change. You're going from, we had a lot of redfish in here, and then one day you had a mix of redfish and snook, and now we're hitting mainly trout.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, every time you have a tide change, big moon phase, another front come through, it changes.
Changes
Get
again.
another
yeah.
group of fish coming in.
Another trout, another nice trout too. Look at that one, pretty fish.
When in doubt, catch a trout.
Double? Come on, eat it. Oh boy. This is our redfish.
Got a
right
redfish?
Here. Yep, got a redfish.
All right.
Nice redfish too. That a boy. Oh, yeah.
I have to get this trout off of here real quick. I don't want you getting up on me.
Little shoulders. Yeah, I knew the minute I reeled down on this one that either I had Troutzilla or we had a nice redfish. Another boil right over here, Rick. Yeah, this is a good fish here.
Get this trout off.
Nice slot fish. Oh boy, Rick. Gross. Let's just stop in this little hole and we'll catch big trout and redfish. And almost like I do this for a living. There you go. Come here. There you go, huh?
That's a nice slot fish.
Yeah, it really is. Pretty fish. Pretty fish. Good colors, a couple of spots on her.
Take that fish and bake him up and put a little crab meat on top of it.
Come on, it's early yet.
That's what I had the other night.
I haven't had my breakfast yet. You're making me.
Oh, another trout. I think this puts me one up.
Oh, whatever. I got a redfish.
There's a trout following this one. There's another trout following this one.
Really, really nice. And again, that low tide, what happens here is everything's kind of concentrated into these potholes. If you can get in the pothole, in the right pothole, it's going to be absolutely stuffed full of fish. And that's what we're having right here. Come on.
All right.
A lot of fish stuffed in these potholes on that low, low water. Oh boy, hey, come on. You looking at my knot like maybe it's not the right one?
No, I was just looking to see what you got going on here.
The Real Animals Tackle Box presented by CCA Florida and the CCA Star Tournament. In today's Real Animals Tackle Box, Captain Rick and I are using 7-foot 7-inch medium heavy fast action spinning rods, Quantum Cabo PTS 40 and Boca 40 spinning reels, 15-pound braided line and 25-pound fluorocarbon leader. We're fishing live pilchards on 2/0 Nautilus Light circle hooks. Real Animals Tackle Box is brought to you by Quantum, the real choice for the real animals. Strike King, #1 in fishing lures. Mira Lure, the record setters. Ingle Coolers, the first, the best, your last. The Real Animals Tackle Box presented by CCA Florida and the CCA Star Tournament. We've been on the water for just an hour or so. Probably got 10 or 15 trout already, and I got a really nice redfish. We're waiting for Rick to get caught up here. But,
Okay.
beautiful morning on the water, having some fun, just going back and forth with my good friend Captain Rick Gross. Just can't beat it. Still looking for that snook. Maybe it'll come, maybe it won't, and at this point we don't even care. The bite's been so good already. And now I got a pinfish. I'm trying to help
now
out.
that's going the other way.
No!
Oh yeah.
Listen, hey, one question, okay? What do they call that? A pin what? It's a pin fish, Rick. So it counts.
Oh boy.
I caught him right in the mouth.
Oh boy. Well then I guess I can count these shiners this morning. You're gonna have a hard time catching up with that unless you get the net out. That might be a redfish.
Oh, got a little redfish attitude to it. Oh yeah. Could be. Looks like it's probably going to be smaller than mine, but.
Okay.
That one's a good one there. Got some shoulders on it too.
Nice redfish.
That one's a good one there, Rick Gross. That's pretty. Look at that.
That's pretty. I like these fish because they play fair. They're not like snook where they're always trying to run into the trees and around the prop. And
another nice trout right here. Boy, redfish, big, beautiful trout. Look at this fish here. Nice trout.
Oh yeah.
Here. Yeah, that's a nice trout.
You want me to help you with that too?
Don't you just get another bait. How long, Rick, have you been guiding now?
I've been licensed since 1986.
Okay.
And the company that I worked for, the one guy there that was my boss found out that I snook fished and used to fish the bridges at night. And he asked me to take him fishing. Started taking him fishing. And you know, it wasn't any charter type of thing, but what are you going to tell your boss? No.
Right. Looks like we're going fishing.
It's like we're going fishing. Told him what he needed to have and everything, and we used to fish a lot of plugs at night on the bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, set in one spot, told him to throw to one. He caught it like an 18-pound snook. He got the fever, and he didn't know anything about the water, anything about boating in the area and everything. He bought a 19.5-foot Boston Whaler Outrage, an old I think it was a 79, 75, I don't know, hull.
Right.
And 115 Evinrude on it. And I would talk him into going fishing anytime the tides were right or whatever. And he would basically almost like this, he'd go get the boat, go get it ready, go get me some bait, and then, you know, I'll meet you.
Yeah.
And that's how I really started. Oh.
That's another nice fish, Rick. That's another.
That's a snook.
Is it a snook?
That's
Come
a
on. We got a slam, baby. Atta boy. That's good to see, isn't it? All in the same hole.
That's
Snook, redfish, trout, all in the same hole.
That's been different. I don't know.
And I got another little trout. What's up with that? Actually, it's a nice trout, but I think you got these fish trained, Rick. Well, I'll tell you what, if you wanted to limit a nice trout, this is a spot to be in. Nice snook. Look at another nice trout.
Speckled trout.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Oh, Rick. Oh. Oh, that one got hammered. Oh, hammered.
Good.
Yeah,
that looks like it's got a red in it.
Yeah, it's got a redfish on it. Nice.
Oh,
I don't even know how to thank you for this. I mean, this is the absolute perfect morning, isn't it? Huh?
We've been waiting for this for a long time.
We have been.
I mean, you know, I lost a lot of sleep last night, to tell you the truth.
I don't know why.
Well, every time we tried to set up a trip, the wind would just howl or something.
Boy.
Yeah.
Right in the corner of the mouth. Let's see if we can get them to chill out a minute here. The crustaceans are such a key part to their diet. I mean, obviously, you know, we're using pilchards here today, but...
And they're not prejudiced about what type of crabs they eat either. You can get just about any crab to catch redfish with. You know, as a kid, we used fiddler crab in catching redfish.
Really a nice fish right there. Whoo!
And they just disappear.
Hey.
Go down in the grass and just disappear.
Absolutely incredible. Closed captioning brought to you by Gator Ford. Real Animals Hook It and Cook It, brought to you by Rumfish Grill at the Guy Harvey Outpost. I'm at the Rumfish Grill on St. Pete Beach, Florida. I'm with Chef Aaron. Aaron, what are we cooking today?
Today we're going to make some spiced crab bisque. We're going to start with some whole butter. Into the pan we're going to do some shallots. We're going to do just a little bit of color on the shallots. And then to the pan we're going to add sherry and white wine. We want to reduce that a little bit. Slight color, sherry. We want to get this to reduce. We're going to add some thyme. We're going to add some paprika. We're going to add some cayenne pepper, a little salt and pepper. We want this to reduce by half. This is our crab stock, which I've added a slurry of cornstarch and white wine to this. A lot of gluten-free customers here.
Okay.
And we try to stay away from flour. So this is a gluten-free soup. Now we're going to add cream. We want to bring this up to temperature and get it a light boil. It'll thicken. Now we're going to finish this with backfin blue crab.
Chef Aaron, that looks absolutely amazing. For this recipe and more, go to our website. Real Animals Hook It and Cook It, brought to you by Rumfish Grill at the Guy Harvey Outpost. You know what's neat about fishing this type of stuff here too is that not everybody knows how to get in here on these tides.
Yeah, I think you were a little worried when we were coming
I was a
in
little
here.
worried. I'm like, we're gonna go where?
I was a little worried too.
But you know, that's the key is, you know, the difference between going with a guide and just going fishing on your own, really knowing the waters, where you want to get, what you want to catch, and being able to attack a piece of water from the right direction. If we'd have tried to come in from over here, this whole area is closed off due to the sandbars. Well, Captain Rick Gross has been fishing here for so long, knew exactly how to lead us in where we had just deep enough water to get into these holes where the fish would still be concentrated in these pockets, and that makes a huge, huge difference. Like a little red dog. Not as big as them other ones we were catching, but another beautiful fish, super blue tail. Water's so clear you can tell the blueness of the tail way out from the boat. I will tell you this, the little guy was hungry.
He smacked it?
Oh, he lumped it. He lumped it like he was somebody. Come here. I don't know. Beautiful spots. 2 on one side, look at that. 4 spots on the other. Be a good little spot tournament fish. Yeah, super blue tail. Look how blue it is. That blue on that tail. Captain Rick Gross, thank you so much. What a great morning on the water. Finally, we got to go and do this, huh?
Finally, finally. The wind was not in our favor for so long.
Yeah, many, many days we tried to get this done. We finally got it in, literally fishing one big pothole here on a low tide, catching snook, redfish, and trout. If you're coming to Bradenton, Sarasota, Anna Maria Island, anywhere right here in West Central Florida, you want to go fishing with Captain Rick Gross, and as you can tell, I highly recommend you do. You can give me a call at 1-866-GAMEFISH. For more great fishing info, log onto the website realanimalsfishingteam.com. Remember, you can follow me on Facebook at Facebook/Real Animals, and whatever you do, don't let your kid be the one that got away. Real Animals Fishing Show has been brought to you by Mosaic, helping the world grow the food it needs.